Hello and welcome again, the channel of Realize to Actualize. Little different kind of video I wanted to make. Actually, I wanted to do one without editing. I've been spending a lot of time doing that and well, making recordings, and sometimes, out of 5, 6, 7 videos, cut them all together. It's been a lot of time doing that, but yeah, it's kind of, I get a little bit lost in that. And actually in my life, I have to be honest, I got a little lost. That's how it can be when, well, it's like what Lennon said. John Lennon, he said, life happens while we make other plans. And sometimes we can get lost in how we want things to be. And then life teaches us lessons, and we can get caught up in things, and we can get distracted, and we get triggered. And, well, actually, I don't really want to talk so much about the we, because actually the we is the me. If I find that experience for myself, I can see that actually I'm not really alone there, because this is the human experience. We all share that. And we basically all look for the same things. We all like the same things, dislike the same things. We have the same yearnings, the same dreams, hopes, even though, of course, they're slightly different from person to person. But still, we are all more alike than we're different. Actually, in reality, you are just another me, and I'm just another you. What stands in between us, that's sometimes the challenge. As we all program to look for what we want in this world. And that's something that always has been a little bit, a turn off for me, to be honest. Looking at people only in terms of what they want. And everybody has an agenda, everybody wants something, everybody has something to sell, everybody has something to offer, everybody wants help, and that's sometimes in relationships it can be like that. We look at other people in terms of what we can get from them, I guess, which is one of the reasons for why I'm not really in a relationship. and the few relationships I had in the past really ended badly, because I felt that maybe I wasn't really able to clearly express what I want. I guess that's also something about me where I want people to maybe sense that. They want to also find out what is it that Christoph wants, so we can, well, give that to him, or, we can give him what he wants. But it's very difficult for me to express that. And so I always feel that, people only focus on what they want from me. I guess it's been a lifelong thing, and it's not really so much the problem outside of me. It's something within me, and that's really the point. And I wanted to just end that video with a reminder of that again. It's really important to look at that, what's within, because what's within, our thoughts and my awareness, my experiences have created my reality, and out of that I attract what comes to me in life. Sometimes we can forget that because we get too much focused outside of us. I also say that because I experienced that for myself. I can fall into that trap of only focusing on things outside of me, on other people and what they can give me, on finding happiness and finding love in form of another person, or a better career, or any career, or really actually people finding maybe my website and listening to my videos, and then they're like, wow, this guy is great, we really want to help him. But this is misleading and distracting me from the fact that it's up to me. I need to make the effort. And also I wanted to make that video to kind of stimulate myself a little bit in that direction. And maybe there's some other people also who can relate to that. Again, the human experience, we all share it. Everybody has a different experience. But then at the same time also, when we really talk to each other, I've come to find that we see similarities. And we see that we all basically face the same struggles, the same obstacles, and we all have the same hopes. We all want to be happy. We all want to be loved. And so, I hope, well, actually, I don't hope. I wanted to make this video to remind myself of the importance of that. And also, as you're watching this, maybe you can relate to that and also feel that there's also something inside of you that you really haven't looked at. And that has to do with things that are uncomfortable. It has to do with our shadow side, our dark side. It has to do with our fear, which many times we have a tendency of pushing away. because it's so much easier to look at the wonderful aspects and be happy and feel good. I mean, in reality, let's just be honest, we all want to feel good and be happy. But yeah, it's not just that easy. I've come to see that a lot after I lived in America for a long time. Lived in San Francisco, which is an area I always admired, like the hippies, the flower power, the free spirits. I always was this way myself in Germany, which I guess is why life led me there. But what I found by living over there is really that the people over there, I mean, they're wonderful, loving, sweet, dear, kind people, extremely open, very creative. But basically, they only want to feel good. They want to feel happy. They want to feel love. They don't really want to deal with problems so much. And in Germany now that I'm back here, the mentality of the people is very, very different. They're not as open at all, not as openly loving, even though in their own way, of course, they are, but it's just different because they're German. Not only do they speak a different language, but they have a different mentality. I went to an event in Frankfurt at a street fest over there. I saw a lot of people celebrate and dance and have a good time. Actually, that's bullshit, because that's how it was in San Francisco. It's also one of my challenges. Sometimes I talk so fast, I get ahead of myself. Anyway, street fest in Frankfurt, scenario was there. I go there, great music, awesome, but nobody dancing. Nobody dancing. Very different from San Francisco, where everybody's partying, have a good time, and people are so open, and which is something I really very much identify with. The German way is a little bit different. Especially now that I'm back in Germany after such a long time in America, I have a lot of rethinking to do and readjusting and readapting myself, or actually basically really establishing myself. After I've left Germany at the age of 24, and the way I was as a child, never really identifying with the German culture. I lived in America then, my home, I was married. I had a home. I lived with my wife and had 3 children, but it was a disaster. And then after that, I got hit by a car. I was homeless for a while. Then I moved from Kansas to San Francisco, another extreme. People really loving, really welcomed me with their open arms, but it was too much for me because I still didn't deal with my hurt feelings from the marriage. And I'm still needing to deal with that. I still realize I haven't dealt with that. And that's again coming back to that, the reality that it's not just love and beautiful aspects within, that many times we want to show that to the world. And we want to we just want to feel good. I want to feel good, of course. But then also I realize that there's something in here that doesn't feel so good. And I've pushed that away for a long time. I've neglected that part because I don't want to see that. I rather want to be happy. But in order to be happy, which is actually, it doesn't take much to be happy, but if you're happy, you're king, which is a German children's song, really been my mantra my entire life. But yeah, it is, again, as grown-ups, we realize, as children, it's like this, of course, because children are naturally happy. But yeah, then we grow up and we learn that we need to pursue those things because life is obligation and pressure, and we have to do what is expected of us, and we have to compete with others, and we have to produce and consume and achieve happiness and love. And that's when we miss out on the reality of actually who we are. My nature is I am happy. I don't need nothing for that. I don't need people to approve of that. I don't need to achieve a certain goal in order to then be happy. This is all about a matter of how I am now. It's a matter of attitude. And that is something that you can develop. That's something that I can develop. And that comes from within. It's a result of personal development, of really working on myself. And that is something that nobody, nobody can do that for you. Nobody can teach you that. But the key here is, and that's what I would like to draw attention to, and that's the last thing I'm going to say right now. It is something that you can learn for yourself. This is something I want to learn for myself. I'm working on that for myself. It's not easy. Actually, it's the most difficult thing ever, but also the most important. And so if you feel like maybe this helps a little bit, if you're interested to learn more, you think we can help each other, which I know we can help each other, we human beings, because we all are students, we all teachers, and we all mirrors, and we all one. And together we can learn from each other. We can learn to work together to make this world a better place. And of course, it begins from within ourselves. It's not just a cliche, it's actually true. Because a new revolution of this world begins with an evolution from within ourselves. From within you, from within myself. It's a matter of waking up and realizing that I am free. And so are you. Thank you.